talk about another topic. ULIPs, right? They were, obviously they have received a lot of negative news over the past decade for, mis-selling and had very high commission rates and all. But now I think it has kind of evolved and kind of has become a little better. I would say for the younger generation at least. And plus added to that, there's this tax benefits and all of that. So a lot of people get pulled towards, investing in ULIPs because there is that tax benefit feature. And also there are charges which are there. Earlier it was very high, but now it has kind of come down to very low for people who are like in their 20s and 30s. But definitely not worth it for people who are in their 55 and 60, to whom it is actually targeted to, because they are the easiest to sell to, because they go to the bank and every time you go to the bank there is a senior citizen person being pitched a ULIP by the bank representative, and the mortality charges are like 5-6%, right? But for the younger generation, which is most of my audience here, who are there in their 20s and 30s, firstly, should they get and invest in ULIP for the tax benefit? That is number one. Number two is, if they have invested and if you're telling that they should not be invested in that, what is the best thing that they can do in order to get out of it?
Sharan, your question is multidimensional. One is a tax element, another is an investment element, third is the insurance element.
Yeah.
Let me first start with the one which I would want to shred it first apart. One should never invest or take any product to do tax planning.
Okay.
The tax planning should come as a byproduct of what you're doing, rather than just being focused about tax planning. Because all these younger generation, let me kind of talk about these as well. These are relatively at a lower income, but there are many fortunate guys who are actually earning very nicely these days. There's a provident fund deduction which is happening at the workplace.
Right.
At this point of time, the amount will be smaller, but within 5 odd years, you will see that it will swell to the overall exemption limit within the tax laws. So today they start something with a thought process, I'll save tax on it under ATC of 1.5 lakhs. Later on, they will realize they don't even need it because their PF amount is good enough.
Right.
So they get stuck for a multi-decade.
That is actually how the bank SL, they say that 1.5 lakh tax exemption, and people think it's 1.5 lakh, but they don't realize that my EPF is also there, my NPS also is there, my insurance products are also eating up that. So they don't make that math. Maybe the balance they have left for Section 80C is probably just like 40,000 rupees. They don't have the number in their mind, right?
Yeah. If any, I mean, they forget that in school, the kids who go to the school fees allowed. If they've got a home loan, the first principal payment of that is there. So we rarely, when we're doing.
But the maturity amount is still completely tax free, right? In ULIP, unlike in equity mutual fund, which is at 10% post.
That's the only kind of primary differentiator which generally the bank RMs or the insurance companies would want to put across, that this is how we are better than the investments. But let me just suggest you. So now let me just take the tax element and assume, let's say ULIPs have one leg ahead of mutual funds or equities as tax-free versus taxable. And how much you're talking about? 10%.
Yeah.
So that's not a huge amount on the gains. But now I'll take the tax element away and talk about the core part, which is the investment. I did this analysis for one, I'll not name and shame any particular company here. Within the same umbrella of a brand, I went and analyzed the underlying, because what's a ULIP? ULIP is a wrapper. You put money into it, you get a term cover, chota sa, you get an investment. Not many people know, but they are actually underlying in mutual funds sitting in a ULIP avatar as well.
Right.
Now, I took those underlying investments of ULIP, compared it with the mutual fund investments of the same sister siblings.
Okay.
Right?
Of the same company, basically.
Not the same company. I mean, the life insurance company has got only, if for argument's sake, if I give an example, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance or ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, HDFC Life Insurance, HDFC Mutual Fund. I'm just giving that perspective. And I compared like to like a large cap investment option in a ULIP with a large cap investment in the mutual fund avatar, mid versus mid, liquid versus liquid, debt versus debt. I did all of, and I was scratching my head. Investments in mutual fund, when a fund manager is doing in a mutual fund, PMSS, whatever you call it in investments, they are under tremendous pressure because they're so liquid. A client can give money today and take it out next day without kind of asking me questions, right? So they are always under a run to generate returns.
Right.
Otherwise, a person will not like it. Okay, I put a money for 1 year and I got no returns out of it. So they need to kind of always be on a run. At the same time, they're always under pressure that the money which has been taken can be always next day can be taken away.
Right.
So they are literally working really hard to get those returns. On the other hand, a sticky money, which is I call insurance. When an insurance guy gets money, in an investment, it's relatively sticky. People
Right.
don't monitor day on day. They would be lucky if they monitor month on month.